Hi, this is Tim Bryan from Bryan's Business Umbrella, the national virtual business advisory firm working mainly in the cloud, but physically located in Buffalo, New York, providing strategic solutions for my clients' unique back office needs via superior accounting, payroll, tax planning, tax preparation, bookkeeping, and strategic pricing solutions, among others. And today is episode 3 of the podcast, Bryan's Business Umbrella, No Value Added, Wrong, Business Advisory Podcast. And today's topic is going to be value. That was planned anyway, but it's really appropriate today because in my first and second episodes, I had mentioned I was a guest on Western New York Entrepreneur with David Schwab. That will not be airing. We're going to more than likely retape it because value is perceived, and it's in the eye of the beholder or the client. And in this case, David was the client getting my expertise, and he didn't see the value in what I was saying, or it's what I was talking about was not what he wanted for his client base and customers, listeners. So we decided to scrap it and go in a different direction. Everything I said is valuable. To recap, we talked about how time is money and not accounted for appropriately. So that's a huge chunk of the accounting equation that's not taken into account for properly in general by small business owners, at least what I see. And the second one was the biggest mistake, which was not categorizing transactions properly, specifically cash that goes in and out of the account that is not an income statement transaction. And so today I love talking about value. I do value pricing, or results-based pricing, and the way I come up with a price. And this is another thing that we spoke to at the very end of the podcast, which obviously you would not know. But we were talking about that I do value-based pricing because I build my price. I give 3 packages, and I build the value up with the customer based on what the client wants in order to come up with the quote-unquote perfect price. They can argue about the price because they're basically setting the price with the components that they want within the accounting package that they select. So I love talking about value, and I can understand where David's coming from. He wanted a specific accounting mistake that someone could use and switch right away. And again, so I'm going to give one right now. Payroll. A lot of times that is done incorrectly because small business owners just clump that tax payment that goes out as an expense, but the real transaction is, debit wage expense, debit payroll expense, credit the tax withholding, so it's really a liability, and that's where they screw up each and every payroll. And then, of course, you credit the cash out. So that's a common mistake that can easily be implemented and should be. And the angle that I was coming from when I was on this podcast is that is helpful to the person that might be listening and say, oh, I've been recording this wrong the whole time. But from my point of view, if you needed to know that, and I couldn't, I can't say that on his podcast, or maybe I could have. But if someone doesn't know that, they need more accounting help, or like knowledge, and to be know more about accounting, basically, because that's a pretty basic premise. And then my point of view is they shouldn't be wasting their time trying to do payroll and worrying about if it's correct. They should have an expert do it, such as myself, and they shouldn't be doing their payroll and books at all until they get these basic accounting concepts down. So that's that. And like I said, we're going to be talking about value, and so we're building value with the customer. They're picking a package. I give 3 packages: a basic package, then I call it the Basics Gold. Then the middle package is Platinum, and then Diamond, which would be a premium package. And I always want the highest price. So when you're building value, you want to anchor the price higher. So you always lead with your most expensive package. And if you have it on a website, I myself don't put down a price because, like I said, the client is selecting each and every component that goes into it. So I can't really give a price until I know what the client values. So when you're anchoring, you have you're leading with your most expensive package to get better pricing, which drives up profitability. If you have it on the website, people in this country read top to bottom or left to right, so you either want the most expensive on the top or on the left, so that they're anchoring high, and then when they want to take stuff out, it looks like they're getting a better deal. I've learned this in this topic, we're going to have to cut it after 3 main points, but they have thousands and thousands of studies in this. It's more of a marketing thing, but all business concepts flow together, and it's proven. Dell uses it, Apple, they all use 3 packages, and 8 to 9 out of 10 times the client will pick the middle package because they'll say, oh, I don't want just the lowest package, I want a little bit more than that. But they don't always necessarily want the most expensive, so it settles down in the middle, which is the package that you should have set up as the one that you want them to take. And then it's gravy. You can add on some value items for the most expensive ones so that you get more profit, like some good reporting. For me, I do some extra reports. I add on my availability is a little bit more if they're paying me more, stuff like that. To that, the whole premise is everyone values stuff differently, so I can't say this is what you're going to have. And I have add-ons, accounts payable management. Some companies want it, some companies don't. That's an add-on. Accounts receivable management, same premise. Payroll, I price completely separate because that's more of a pain than anything. So that's the whole premise of this whole thing that I've started now. I thought I was giving information that I thought was valuable. Mr. Schwab did not, so we're going to redo it. I have a better idea of what he's looking for. And as I go out and prospect with my customers and my clients that I help with their pricing, with their clients, we build the value. We have to talk to the customer, see what they value, and then build our package accordingly. So that's some pretty good stuff there. And like I said, value and value pricing, I'll talk about a lot, because that's a big subject. Like I said, there's whole college curriculums about it, and it's very important. And price, here's another little tidbit for you. Price is the easiest way to increase your profitability. Everyone likes, well, I shouldn't say everyone, the majority of people, when their numbers aren't exactly what they want, try to cut expenses. But you can, if you lay someone off, now you still have the same amount of clients and less people to do it, so it's more on you. It's you're starting to come to a bottleneck there. You could get more clients, and now you're going to have more clients with the same amount of people. The same thing. Both will work, but the easiest way to make more profit is to increase your price. You do that by showing your value that you offer to your customer. And most customers, or at least the ones that I deal with, because I used to take just everyone. Now I have built an avatar of my ideal client who I want to work with, and so far it's been working well. I build my value. I tell them what I offer. They tell me what they want. We come together and build a package and a relationship and a partnership, and it reduces the time that I'm working because they let me do my thing, which is paperless. I work paperless. I work with newer technology, and I love it. They love it. So I'm working with less clients, more profitability, better price. Better price brings you have more time for each and every client, and your profitability remains the same, and you have more time, which was the very first thing. Everything wraps around to time is your most valuable asset, whether it's to be with your family, secure more customers, whatever you want to use it for. It's 24 hours, that's all you have in a day. That's your most valuable asset. So with that, I will leave you with, again, just saying that value is like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder, and you have to build your value and package to match what your prospect wants and needs. So with that, I will sign off. Lead with love, and until next time, have a great day.